Hello and welcome to today's YouTube video. This is a really special one. It's something I've wanted to do for a little while, but something came over me in the last few weeks and I said I have to make this video. This video is really about you, the player, but I've enlisted the help of 3 fantastic guitar players. So we've got Dean Mcreadie, we've got Jeff Case, and we've got Nico, also known as Deathray Cat, or El Nico. These guys are all fantastic players. Now, this video is, what I've done here is I've asked each of them for one piece of advice they would give guitar players. Up-and-coming guitar players, intermediate guitar players. You could even say for professionals there's some great advice in here. It really doesn't matter. And it's not about success. This is not about being the most famous player in the world or how to get somewhere in the industry. I think even better than that, one takeaway from me was there was just heaps of advice about how to become an accomplished player, things that will help get you to where you want. So I highly recommend sitting back, watching the whole lot. I know we're in some kind of attention recession these days with TikTok and clicking around, and I don't really want to pressure people to stick around and watch a whole video, but if there was a video that I've ever made that you should stick around for, funnily enough, I'm not really the feature of it, but this is one I really recommend you do sit through and have a listen. Personally, I was hanging off every single word because it's just fantastic. There's playing from each player, and then they give you their one piece of advice that they really want you to hear. So we've got, like I said, Dean Mcreadie, Jeff Case, and Nico, or Deathray Cat, coming up. Enjoy, guys. It's fantastic. I'll chat to you very briefly at the end. I hope you really enjoy it. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. For all of the guys, go find their channels. I'll put the links below.
Right, mate, hope you're well. So when you asked that question, you know, what's the most important thing that makes you a proficient player, I thought, man, that's a big question. So it got me thinking, you know, I could say practice, scales, arpeggios, theory, all that cool stuff. In the end, I decided something that really rings true with me, especially after playing for quite a few years, is keeping inspired. It doesn't matter if you've been playing for 2 or 25 years, you got to keep it fresh. You know, like when you first got your guitar and you're like, you know, you hit that power chord, you're like, oh, I can chuck a power chord, and it's like a really good feeling. It doesn't matter how good you are, there's always new stuff to learn, players that can inspire you, and you know, this is what keeps the musical journey fresh, I think. I don't think you ever stop learning. There's always another avenue you can go down, okay? So I think that's my advice, is just keeping it fresh, keeping inspired, and that journey will never end then. Cheers.
Advice for new guitar players. I would say be confident. I can recall when I was like in my teens, it was like all I knew were like power chords and of course the open chords. But I used like power chords in everything I played, because I played along with the Ramones records and like Rancid and things like that. And so I played in a lot of punk rock bands, and I thought I was really good because I didn't know how much I didn't know. Right? So I could play my power chords like really good, and our bands rocked. And so I was confident in that. And then it wasn't until like I got older and I started to get into like all the other stuff, like some like lead stuff, I realized, man, I don't know anything on guitar. And but I was so driven because it was like such an enjoyment. And I mean, I just like anything that I learned, I was just on cloud nine. I was like super, super happy about it. So it's always been my number one passion, like all my life. So I would say be confident. It reminds me of what Chris Scroke said in an interview. He said, it's your limitations that like they dictate who you are as a player. And I think there's a lot of truth in that. And he also said, like, if you could do it all, then you're really not doing anything, you know? So limitations are what is going to, like, make you sound like you. You don't have to know every single thing on guitar, right? Like, I'm not a great chet picker, but I learned, like, as much as I could, but I know I'll never be, like, one of those guys. It's not what I'll be known for if I'm known for anything, right? So what I do is like, I do like the best that I can. And what comes out is my own style. Like the solo that I just was playing, I don't know if you'd call it a rockabilly guitar solo, but it's my guitar solo. It's how I play. So hopefully people can hear that, you know, if there's a recording and somebody hears that, they're like, oh, that sounds like Jeff. That would be cool. So be confident and stick with what you can do and try to absorb all the information that you can and slip those small little tidbits into your own playing, and you'll eventually get your own style. And whatever your skill is on the guitar, just use that to your advantage. And if you can play in time and with your heart, then you can play in a band. You don't have to wait. So I say go do it and have fun.
Hello, baby. Oh, yes, I know. We're going to talk to Adrian about our best piece of advice for guitarists. So my big piece of advice would be play along with records. It might sound really obvious, but it's not obvious to everyone. So, like, maybe find something that's not going to be too tricky and try and play along, try and find the notes yourself without any tabs. See if you can find the root note of what's going on. See if you can find those bass notes, and then you can find those chord changes. Then hopefully eventually you'll develop that ear, and it's also really good for your timing as well. So I think that massively helped me when I was first learning guitar. I think I was listening to Green Day or something with a lot of power chords like Nirvana or something, and yeah, just finding those root notes, finding the chord changes, using the ear. Thanks, Adrian, for including me on this. Hope you're doing well. I'm really proud of you for doing your new course. I'd like to check that out. Yeah, see you soon.
Like I said, just so much fantastic advice. Thank you so much to all the guys. Jeff, brilliant work. Dean, love your work. And Nico, man, thank you for mentioning the course. I promise that wasn't set up. He's just a good guy, and, you know, they're all just great. So, you know, the one thing I want to say is all these guys put out quality content. I think we all do, myself included. We all put a lot of effort in. Go out there and support those guys, okay? We're in the best time ever to learn. but it still takes willingness from guys to sit down. If you've ever tried to make a tutorial or a transcription and a tutorial, even just a video, you'll understand it's so much effort, okay? But it's not, and I'm not saying this to say, oh, I go to so much effort. I just know for these guys how much work they put in, and I think it's really nice for us all to connect and work together with a video like this, and I dare say there'll be more of it. In fact, I'm going to make a part 2 of this with other players as well. So stick around. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next video.